Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna, and today is part 2 of my tutorial for the ABC Primer Graphic 45 mini album. So we're going to go ahead and get started with attaching our closure, and we're going to get it punched out for it. And I'm just going to close up my book like it's supposed to lay. And I'm going to add these clamps. Now I get these from the Dollar Tree. And they work really good for holding things nice and securely without getting in the way. So I'm going to be using a Prima Marketing closure. It's a hook and latch type system. So what I did was I came in and I measured halfway down, which my book is 10 inches high. So I made a mark at 5 inches out here and at 5 inches out here, so that when I put this on, I can see the center. This raised piece here is right in the center. Let me get focused in here for you a little bit so you can see it a little better, and then I'll focus back out when we need a little bit more room. So this is my left piece, and what I did was I centered that hump right up with my 5-inch mark, and I just gently butted it up against this right side here, and then I held it in place. And I'm going to draw a circle inside of each one of those little holes. I'm then going to take my hook part, do the same thing. You can picture the center on this, and I'm going to put it right up against this left side of the edge here and hold that in place, center it with my 5-inch mark there. Again, I'm just going to make a little circle mark inside of those holes, and that gives me where I need to create my holes. Now I have the Crop-A-Dile punch, which is perfect size for punching the holes for this. If you don't have that, you can use an awl and punch your holes through with that. As long as you get a hole in there and you can get a brad through, it doesn't matter. In fact, I'll just use the awl and show you instead of the punch. So I'm actually going to take this off now so I can put my hands back there and create the punches. So you don't want to stab your hand, because once this goes through, it's going to do a good poke through, and you don't want to stab your hand. So I'm just, there we go. So I got a hole there. And let's do one on this side, hole there. Come around here. And I want to do this before I put my paper on, and then we'll put our paper on, our decorative cardstock on, and then we will make holes through that too. But I want to get my holes punched first so I know exactly where everything has to go. All right, so we've got our holes just like that. So now we can put on our decorative cardstock on the front piece. And then we're going to put magnets on, which I've already got my magnets. So let me go ahead and switch back out here to a bigger picture. There we go. Okay. So what I've chosen for my outside is the main full page that they usually have with Graphic 45. Now I've already cut mine because I had to do some measuring and stuff that you typically might not have to do on a regular album. You'll have to measure, but I've got 2 pieces that I want to coordinate here. So I wanted to make sure I had those already, so I wasn't fussing with that and taking up your precious time. So I used this piece here for my front cover. And this measures 9 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, so I want to smudge my inks, and this is Tim Holtz Distress ink. And on the black, you're not going to see much, but what it's going to do is remove that white edge on there. And some pieces are going to be lighter, so if I stay consistent and use the same ink, and you don't have to smudge your pieces, it's just something that I like to do. There we go. You could fray your edges if you wanted, and so this is going to give us 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And I'm going to probably pull in some other Graphic 45 papers, just because I want to make sure I have enough of this one particular collection, because this does take up quite a bit of paper, because you've got pockets and stuff like that where you're going to create tags. So we're just going to kind of center that on there, just like that, the best that we can here. Glue gives us a little time to slide. If you prefer to use tape, you sure can. I'm just going to remove some of that. This is Art Glitter Glue. So, all right, I'm going to lay this flat here so I can get that all pushed down there real nice. Make sure I don't have any big air bubbles or anything. Now, I don't believe I'm going to add a lot of decorations to the outside of this, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm not to that part yet. That'll be the last thing I do. Because if I have a bunch of decorations on here and I'm trying to create my album, then I'm pressing on them all the time. So, and I don't want to be doing that. So our next piece to do is we're going to add a flip here. Okay. Then we can put on, well, I guess we could punch our holes. That's going to be pretty bulky in there. Do we want to put that on? All right, let's make our hole for this one. So I'm going to go on the back side here and push through to create my hole from the holes that are already there, just like that. Okay. And we'll go ahead and put this on there. Now this comes with 4 brads. It came in a packet too. I don't even know if they sell these anymore. I am not sure. I've had these for quite a while. I have bunches of different ones too that I ordered. My hole might need to be just a little bit bigger. Through AliExpress. So if you can't find them, you might be able to find a nice one on Ali, or I don't see them in the stores too much anymore. I know Hobby Lobby used to carry something similar, but they were hollow, and I didn't care for that. So we got one in there, and one in here. And get that to stand still there. There we go. There we go. I might just add a squirt of glue underneath there, just to maybe help hold that in place while it's drying a little bit. Let's go ahead and open our brads here. Press on those nice and tight there. There we go. A little bit of that glue squeezed out. That's fine. We're just going to get it here. And I see that this brad is not laying very flat, so let's get that flattened out there. There we go. All right. Perfect. And let's go ahead and put this side in. That should be pretty good. It's a little crooked there. I'm just kind of lining it up to see if it's straight, and it looks pretty good. Let's add a piece to here. Now this piece was cut to line up like it's finishing the page. So it should line up real perfect there, just like that. So it's finishing off that girl there. Now you can't see her hand because it's under there, but you can see the dog's snout and stuff. So, yep, should line up perfect. So let's go ahead and do that. Give this a little smudge. And I don't know how long today's will be. We'll just have to see. I'm going to do it in sections, so like we won't decorate the full back. We won't decorate the full cover on the outside today, but we will get some of the inside done. So, all right. So let's go ahead and glue that down. And you don't have to use this collection. You can use any collection you like. I just happen to be, like I told you in the other videos, that this is a gift for my granddaughter's teacher. So, but you can use any collection you like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Graphic 45. It can be any collection. It's just the idea of the album itself. And this is, I don't know what year this came out. I'll have to see what it says on the papers. All right. I'm going to go back here again from the inside and poke my holes like that. There we go. Just add a little glue to this one. Put our cap in there. And like I said yesterday also, is that some of this is going to, the layout for this album is going to be like my one I created, my first album I created, which was a recipe book. So, oops. A lot of the, hello, Bella. Bella is my mini weenie dog, and she will be a year old here coming up pretty quick. You want to come up and say hi? Come here, little love. Come here. This is Bella. This is Bella Rose. Bella Rose, yep. She'll be 1 year old on the 12th of February. So she's a pretty good girl. She sometimes likes to chew on things, though, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. She's just a little bit. All right, there you go. Run along now. But she's a pretty good dog, but she still kind of has her puppy habits, I guess, where they kind of like to chew on things, and not as bad as it used to be, but still, the other day I caught her chewing on some wood that she wasn't supposed to be chewing on, of course, but they are slowly improving. And the German Shepherd, we have a German Shepherd who's 3 weeks older, and she just turned 1 year. But so we went from one size to another extreme. So, okay. So now if we do this, it should latch right up. Yeah. Once we get our pages and stuff in there, that's going to be thicker, and that will stay open because it will fill this gap here. And that will help hold it open. Oops, like this. Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. So that's on. Like I said, that creates a little bump in there underneath. So we'll just have to be mindful of that, not press on that too hard. All right, so I did put 2 magnets on. Now these magnets are smaller, but they were strong enough. I used, I think, 3 pieces of cardstock in between just to make sure that I believe they are going to hold very well. So those magnets, I believe I got on eBay, but you can also order them on AliExpress. Okay, now we can lay our inside paper on here. But first I want to do a flip. So my flip, so this is 10 3/4 high by 7 7/8 wide. We're going to do a 1-inch score on this. And the reason I want a 1-inch score is it puts that much more underneath. Puts that much more underneath as some more stability, more strength. So on your 10 3/4 inch side, you're going to score at 1 inch. Like that. And we're going to go ahead and burnish that. Okay. This is going to be, and we want to attach this first because we want to be able to put our decorative cardstock over top of that also. Let me get some of this stuff out of my way here so I'm not bumping into it. I didn't use that. I can go way over there right now. And we are going to center this on our, and you can see your first line where your book closes, so you want to stay away from that. And so you're going to have about a 1/16 of an inch on each side, left and right, and about 1/8 of an inch top and bottom, somewhere in there. Yeah. So, in fact, if you would like, you can stay closer to the, you can stay like a 1/16 from the top. That allows you a thumb, you get about 1/4 of an inch on the bottom. So let's do that. 1/16 of an inch top and left and right, and we'll glue that down. Again, you can use tape. In fact, maybe I'll put just a small piece of tape on there just to kind of hold in place until the glue dries. There we go. This is 1/4 inch tape. Just enough. Not sure what's going on with her. I just had her outside, so I know it's not that. All right. So I don't have everything in my head exactly how I want to do it. I know some of the things I want to add. And I do want to give her lots of photo space and journaling space. So that I do know. Okay, so I'm going to come up here about a 1/16 of an inch from the edge there, like that. Again, we have that thing on the bottom there, so I don't want to press on. I don't want to press on that too hard there. There we go. And that flips up. There we go. Okay. And now for that, we also want to have a band that is going to flip up to be magnetized to hold this closed. Okay. So this is 4 inches wide by 7 inches high. We're going to score it at 5 3/4 and 6 inches. That's going to give us a 1/4 of an inch. So on the long side, I already got my magnet there. So let's see. This is my bottom edge. So this is my score edge right here. 5 3/4 and 6 inches. That gives me a 1/4 inch gusset. So let's do it this way. 5 3/4 and 6 inch, just to make sure we got a good, like that. And we need that 1/4 inch gusset to allow for another thing we're going to put inside there. So I want a nice little gusset. So we are going to glue this down at the bottom here. Now I have made a mark at 4 inches. This is 8 inches wide. At 4 inches, I made a line. On this 4 inch wide piece, I made a line at 2 inches. So I know that these two are centered. I'm going to bring my first score line right down by that bottom edge. Okay. So I'm going to line up my two and then have my score line is going to be matching this bottom edge here. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue that 1 inch section down. Now I wasn't paying attention and I did corner punch this into, which doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt. But as soon as I did it, I went, oh, that's not supposed to be corner punched. So, but it doesn't hurt anything. It's going to be covered. So it's not a big deal. So again, that score line is just matching that edge. And I'm centered. Just like that. Now, we're going to wait to add our magnet till we get this filled, but our magnet's going to go, this is another one of those same magnets. Our magnet's going to go to match that, okay? All right. Now, we can cover this piece here. So I have selected this paper here, and 9 3/4 high by 7 3/4 wide. So we're going to have a 1/4 inch around. Again, you don't want to interfere with that there. In fact, we could create a 1/4 inch there too. I don't know if I can score that now. Just so we have enough. I don't know if I can get my scoreboard there. Probably not. But if you want, you can score this a 1/2 inch. But what we can do once it gets in here, we can allow that to form to the next page we're putting in. So we should be fine. Okay, so that's going to go in there like that. I'm going to take this tape off of here. And I will show you how I do my magnets in another section. I just wanted to be able to move right along with some of this. So see how far we get. Again, I'm just using the same ink, and I will use that same ink all the way through the book. And it is walnut stain. In case I didn't say, I believe I did, but in case I didn't. All right. So this will give her another spot for pictures. And the reason there's 2 magnets here is because it's the piece we're going to create to go on there is magnetic and removable. So she can lift it off of there and be able to take that piece off separate. It just creates another different element, which is nice. Okay. I know it's hard to see. Let me get you in here. I know it's hard to see. Again, I'm going to hold this up because of that. That's the only bad thing, but you got to put you got to get your closure on at some point. And once I start adding all this stuff, then it's too late. I don't want that on top. I guess you could wait at it and then put a sticker or something over it, but I would just rather have it underneath there. All right. Now for our top piece here, I have selected this here, and this is actually from a Children's Hour. Children's Hour collection, and it happens to be the July. And this is from 2016. I have lots of extra graphic 45s that I buy in packs of 20 when I purchase them, because I like using the backs of a lot of the graphic 45 because they coordinate. Their colors all coordinate with each other usually. So, and this had the kids on it playing and things like that, and I thought, oh, that's so pretty, that will go good in there. So this will give her spaces for, she can easily get 2 4x6 pictures here on there, or an 8x10, so, or 5x7 if she wants to show. But, and then this will give her another full layout page. So this is cut at 9.5 by 7 5/8 wide, 9.5 high, 7 5/8 wide. That's the decorative cardstock for that. You will need 2 of those because you'll want one for the top part. Like that. And I did already punch one side there, corner punch it. And I am using the green Crocodile corner chomper. And it gives this, this is one of the sides, it gives that little angle there. I don't know if you can see it very good. All right, so we're going to attach this to that. If there's an album you would like me to try to create, like I said, I have quite a few albums already in my videos for different things. I got vacation ones and all that kind of stuff, so might be something in there that you like, just like that. So you'll have about 1/4 inch on each side there. Okay. I'm going to lift this up so I can press on that like that, just like that. All right, so that goes like that, and then this is going to come up here. So let's go ahead and let that dry up a little bit. We're going to come to the back sections here, and I have pre-cut. This all came from one sheet, so this is going to go on our back cover there, and then our center, and then that piece there. Okay, so these don't get any decorative corners. So this piece here is also 9 3/4 high by 7 3/4 wide for our decorative cardstock on there. We'll have some fun flips and stuff in here, and you can go as elaborate or as simple as you want with your albums. I don't, and in my personal albums, I don't a lot of pockets unless it's for like, if it's a vacation album, maybe for some memorabilia, paper things, you know, like you went into a certain, say water park or something, and you wanted their actual map or something for that. So again, you want to stay away from where the book closes. You want to stay away from that. You don't need any extra in that little spot there. There we go. And also there. I got that little crooked here. I don't know if I can lift that up. It's a little crooked. Needs to be over this way just a little bit. All right, there we go. There we go. Now, tape doesn't usually let you do that. Another reason I like glue. All right, let's see here. Okay. And then this is the centerpiece. And the nice thing about this kind of paper is that it was going different directions. So when I actually cut this, this was like this. But then this was from the bottom part. But because it was running different angles, it actually worked out to my advantage that it was covered. I'm going to, where is my tape? There it is. Score tape out of here a second. 3/8, do I have ½ inch? Yeah, all right. This is Kaiser Craft, so let's see. All right, so I'm going to put some tape over top of those, just like that, to kind of hold them down so they don't poke through my paper. All right, and they shouldn't. All right, so this decorative piece is 3 3/4 wide by 9 3/4 high. And that is the same for the front too. That was 3 3/4 wide by 9 3/4 high. All right. All right. Let's turn this way. Again, you want about a 1/4 inch around each edge. There we go. Okay. All right. And I thought this would be a nice Valentine's gift for her. So I think that's what we're going for, to have it ready for her for Valentine's Day, rather than a box of chocolates or something. And she could use it for just this year's class, or she could use it for multiple years class. And it's up to her. It's her gift. So, all right. And then we have this piece here, 2 inches wide by 9 3/4 inches high. There we go. All right. Center that in between those two there. Whoops, got a little glue on my hand there. A little glue on my hand there. All right, so that part is done. And we are going to do 2 pockets here, and they will open up like file folders, so that'll hold multiple extra pictures for her. So let's go ahead and work on our inside piece here. So like I said, that is going to be removable. This one is going to go here, but I want to get my magnet in place first. And this is the piece that has the magnetized section to it. This is 9 3/4 high by 7 3/4 wide, and that will magnetize right to that. You could hear that. You could hear it click. So there's 2 magnets there. Okay. So the back side of that is going to, actually the front side of this is going to be this, and this is the back side. So there'll be another full page there that she can use. And again, she can get almost an 8 by 10 on there and a 5 by 7 for sure. So we can go ahead and smudge that, and we'll put our back piece on. This piece is 9.5 by 7.5 inches wide, 9.5 high, 7.5 inches wide. That's our decorative piece, and that's going to go on the front. Oh, I'm sorry, the back part with the magnets. I'm going to add a little extra glue around those. Those are just glued on, same size magnets as the others. I do have larger magnets and I do have smaller magnets. In fact, I actually thought about using a little bit larger one, but they were thinner, which is good. You don't want too thick of a magnet for your albums. So you have to keep that in consideration too. And these were actually stronger. So I'm going to kind of slide this up on my way here so I can lay this on there. Again, this should give you about an 1/8 of an inch edge, or 1/4 of an inch edge, sorry. About a 1/4 of an inch edge all the way around. And I'm just eyeballing it. So, all right. Get that all down there nice. Towel. Get a little bit of the extra glue. I'm going to go around those magnets. So if for some reason the glue ever did let loose, that glue around the outside of it should hold the paper right to it. All right. And so as you can see, should be able to get a couple pictures on there. She used 4 by 6. Right. So that's my dad. This is he was in the Korean War. So, and he passed away when I was 18 years old. So he's been gone quite a while. All right. So see, that still, you can hear that even through those other layers of paper, it magnetizes right on that. So this one we're going to add. You get this out of the way, and we're going to create that. Let me go ahead and snap that right out of the way. So I have cut 8 pieces of cardstock, my American Craft cardstock. And I don't know if I told you the weight of that. That's 60 pound cardstock. So we are going to create some flips for this. This here, again, is the same size has that other one. Let me see. Double check. Just so I tell you the right size. Well, let me just measure it because apparently I just covered that up. So we'll just measure it. Here we go. So this is 7.5 wide by 9.5 high. Same size. I have measured down 1.5 inches from the top, and I've made a line, a pencil line that we're going to erase, but you can see the pencil line there. 1.5 inches down from the top, 1/2 inch from the side. There's another pencil line going all the way down, and we're going to lay our pieces. These 8 pieces are 5 inches high by 6.5 inches wide. On the 6.5 inch side, we are going to score at 1/2 of an inch. Okay, that's our hinge. Oops, there we go. So make sure I don't press on that. Too many tools here. There we go. Oops, I'm sorry. On the 5 inch side, so sorry, 5 inch side, score at 1/2 inch. Burnish. Okay. You need 8 of those. I've already got the other 7 scored and ready to go. So we're going to take these and we are going to start at our top corner here. And we're going to line our left edge up with that left pencil line, 1/2 inch line, and our top at the 1.5 inch mark. Okay. So, and that will help keep us straight all the way down. Now we should end about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, if my calculations are correct. But we'll see. Sometimes I think I got it right and I don't. But hey, we're humans, so we make mistakes. So I'm going to glue these down. You may tape them. There we go. Perfect. Again, 1.5 inch down, 1/2 inch in from the left hand side, and that will also give you a 1/2 inch on your right hand side. Okay. This will hold a whole photo without being cut down, and it will leave an edge of black around the photo. See? So you'll get a nice, good edge around the photo. Now, you could add decorative cardstock to the front and back of this. I don't think I'm going to at this time, because for one, it adds a lot of bulk, but with that edge, you will have enough to show a decorative cardstock edge also. So at this time, I don't think I'm going to add it, but I could change my mind later. All right, we're just going to keep going down. So this one is going to line up with the bottom of this and along that 1/2 inch. So I'm going to come along my 1/2 inch and bring this down just like that. Perfect. So this should close up and match. Okay. Okay. Lift it. And we're just going to keep going. I like making the lines. It's just a little easier for me, and they erase, so it gives me a nice straight guide to go by. Again, we're going to line this one up with that bottom of that one, right along our 1/2 inch line there, just like that. Oops, little crooked there. There we go. Close them. They should line up pretty good. Okay. And you don't have to do 8. You could actually probably get a couple more in here on the top, but I want to add an emblem there. So I want to add a little decorative sticker from the sticker sheet on there. At the top edge. Okay. There we go. Start to curl a little bit. It's curling a little bit, but this is going to get glued to cardstock too, so I'm just going to kind of flatten that out there a little bit, but it does want to curl a little bit. All right, so we got over there. Textured cardstock's a little noisy. Sorry if that seems loud in the microphone. Shouldn't be too awful bad, but just in case. Okay. And these can be a little tedious if you haven't done one before, but once you do a couple, it's not so bad. Now my other one in my original recipe book, it had a belly band that went around it. And so of course, if it's not going to be nice and fold up nice and in there, then I will create a belly band for this one as well. I just wanted to see how it would do without it. Okay, we've got our last one. So we're going to be just a little bit higher than I thought, but not much. Higher is better than lower, right? So just a little bit on that one, but it'll be okay. It's not going to be that noticeable. Just a smidge. Just a smidge on the one above it. It's no big deal. So when these are closed, then yep, it's about a half inch, not quite, but all right. Not too bad. Looks good. Pretty even. All right, so now I'm going to erase my pencil lines so I don't forget and give it to her with pencil lines on it. And then we can glue it to its base piece. Pencil. I like the white erasers. I just get these at I think I got these ones at Meyer Thrifty Acres, which is a Michigan store. They might, I think they have them in a, they might have them in another state, maybe Indiana or something like that, but it was originally a Meyer store, so in Michigan. All right, so what did I do with my other paper? Is it in here? It's already in here. So now we can attach this to that. And again, this is going to have that same edge on it. Let's close it up a little bit. Get our smudging done. See, so you hardly see any of that other paper anyway. That's why I thought this would be a good place to substitute for one of the pieces out of that line. And like I said, I do have a lot of the packs of the, and the bottoms mostly for the backs, because I like the backs of, and when I purchased them, I got them at a good sale price. So it makes sense to purchase them as filler pages. And you could use them for the regular pages too. I don't have all of the months, but I have most of them. I have a good share of them, but I do not have all of them. All right, here we go. But like I said, I didn't buy them for the months per se. I bought them for the back. All right, I think that's about right there. Yeah, that's good. Oops. I have glue on my hand there. Just smeared it. Just smeared it. Okay. And see how we ended up with about a 1/2 inch on each edge there. There we go. All right. So let's see now. Like I said, the other one had a belly band that went around it to help hold those down. And we'll see how this holds them down. If it doesn't hold them down, then I will add a belly band to that as well. But I think the magnet will hold that down. Yep, see? So that goes in there. And I might do a belly band anyway, just to make sure, because once she gets pictures on there, that's going to add some thickness. So I think we will do that. And what we might have to do is add magnets to the belly band too to hold it. I'm not sure if that will go through the belly band. So let's go ahead and do that together. I have 2 pieces of the black cardstock here. These are, I believe, they are, if I set my ruler back where I'm supposed to, these are 4 3/8 inches wide. These were scraps. Actually, this one can be cut down just a little bit. These were scraps from one of the cuts. So that's a good size scrap. There we go. Now they're both 4 3/8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score one at, where do I want them at? Let's see. I'm just going to lay this on here, and I'm going to mark just beyond, like about 1/8 of an inch beyond that. So we're going to cut this one at, where's my mark? Right there. Okay. Let's cut this one at 9 7/8. Okay. 9 7/8. All right. So then this one, we're going to, I think we'll score, I got glue all over me. Let's cut this one. No, I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to leave it at 12 because it'd be 11 7/8. So let's go ahead and score this at 1 inch on each end of the 12-inch edge. So let's go like this. Here. And we will score 1 inch and 1 inch. Okay. Fold and burnish. I know that can be a little noisy, so I apologize. And then with our texture, mine's textured, so now I'm just gonna glue that like that. So I'm just going to glue my two edges down, and they'll have a little tiny bit of extra bow in it because of that extra 1/8 of an inch. Okay, but that's all right. It's not going to hurt because once we get that in there, that's going to take up a little bit of extra space. So let's go ahead and glue these down. And we can always decorate this later. It's not a big deal. I just want to create it with you. All right, I'm going to bring this in. Again, I'm just going to line the top and the sides up here. There we go. So it's got a nice 1-inch section glued down. So make sure we watch that glued edge so we don't glue it shut. And then we're going to do the same at this end here. And I don't always use 1 inch, but you know, if I cut that down, it's not going to matter. So it just gives me a little extra support, a little more glue section. All right, so there we go. Just like that. And then that should slide right over top of this. Just like that. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, and that will help hold that down. And let's see if I need to add magnets to the back or if my magnets are still going to work. Yep, so my magnet's still working there. Pulls it right in. Boop, just like that. And then you can see that, well, it slid, but it's holding it in place. If I think, when I probably will add 2 more magnets to that. So let's just go ahead and do that together. Just because once I get paper on this, then I want to make sure that the magnets stick to this. So I'm going to grab 2 of my magnets. And I'm going to let them, whoops, they're going to go. So there's a magnet there and a magnet there. We can take this band off and get it ready to center here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is take a couple pieces of my score tape, and I'm going to make them kind of long. I'm going to lift that magnet, put the score tape facing up. Okay. There we go. I got so much glue and stuff on it. And what that's going to do is going to keep my magnet in the spot where I want it, but it's going to allow me to have that stick. If it's off there a little bit, it's not going to matter where I need it to. So I'm going to center this. It's a little bit wider than this band here. So I'm going to kind of center it there. And I'm going to press where those magnets are. And then when I peel away, it has attached my magnets exactly where I need them. Okay, so now we can slide this back on. And there. There we go. All right. So there we go. Just like that. All right, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. I almost do want a fold up in there, so that goes up a little higher. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, that's go down a little bit further than I want it to. That's okay. I think we'll be all right. Let me see what happens in the book. I'm just checking down in there to see how things are fitting. All right, let's I think it's gonna be just fine. All right, okay. So now we can create a magnet for this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Another magnet. Say it like that. There we go. So I'm going to get another piece of tape here. Tape under there. Like that. It's got a hold of me. And you don't want it. Let me see what's going on here. I think I'm going to trim this down just a little bit on this edge. Just a tiny bit. Just to give myself just a little bit more room. So let's do, trim that in, and then maybe the bottom end. I just want it just seems to be a little snug. So trim both of those edges just a little bit. So I took about a 1/16 of an inch off of each edge. So it gives me an 1/8 of an inch that I took off that. So, all right, and like that. And then let's see here. Yeah, so that makes that a little loose. That's not the end of the world. It's still gonna hold it. Okay. It's just that we were just a little bit tight there. So I'm gonna kind of give that a bend like that. All right, there we go. And then that. Okay. That looks a little better. Okay. That looks a little better. So I want that to be a natural fold. I don't want to be pulling on this to make it tight. I want it to fall right into place. There we go. Okay. So this is our cover for that piece. And again, that's already had its corners rounded. Okay. So let's just make sure. Yep, there we go. See, the magnet is holding good enough. All right. And if I stick another piece under there, so if I stick this under there, that magnet still holds because I'm going to add another decorative piece of cardstock on here. So that way it shows me that my magnet still holds even with that one in there. Okay, because this is heavier than this cardstock. So I didn't decide what I wanted to cover that with yet, so we're just not going to worry about that. I'm going to peel my tape. If you want to use your heavier magnets, go ahead. I try to use the magnets that are going to suit the best. Whoops, hang on there. I got to smudge this shit. Suit the best, so I'm not using huge magnets where I don't need to. But if you want to make sure that's secure and stuff for sure, then you can use huge magnets if you like. Like I said, I've got some big magnets that actually have plastic in between them, otherwise you can't get them separated. And I don't know what strength magnets that these are. Like I said, this is my box of magnets, and there is literally all different sizes in there. So I just have a variety, and that's what I use personally. It's what I personally use. Okay. There we go. Nice. Okay, put this down like this so I can on it a little bit. Because again, I don't want to press that closure there. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's go and put our thing back in. And the next time we will cover this and this. And we will also cover this flap here. Okay. In the back. And probably create our first page. But I think we've got quite a bit done for today. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Thank you for dropping in and following along. I hope you give this album a try. And like I said, you do not have to use the ABC Primer Graphic 45. You can use whatever collection you like and make it right along with me. The nice thing about that is you can stop the video at any time and rewind it and play it as many times as you need to. And if you're a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. You taking time to watch my little channel. And a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down in the right-hand corner. When the bell pops up, if you hit that bell, you'll be notified each time I put up a new tutorial. As always, blessings to you and your families. Hugs and love. See you soon. Bye-bye.